Hi and welcome back to So Damn Good. Today I'm going to do a Synastry chart reading for Selena Gomez and her boyfriend Benny Blanco. So Selena Gomez was on the Disney Channel and she is a very famous woman now known to be an actress and a singer, and Benny Blanco is a music producer. And they have been together for at least I think about a year. I could be wrong. Well, around about a year. Now, these two have been posting quite a bit on social media recently, showing their love for each other through photos and videos. So I wanted to do a synastry chart to see what kind of vibe their love story has. So we're gonna go ahead. I've got this birth chart or this synastry chart here, and and we don't have perfect times. The best way to read a birth chart or a synastry chart is to have two accurate birth times. Now we've got Selena's birth time that's got a C rating, meaning that we're not 100% sure if that's actually when she was born, and we do not have a birth time for Benny Blanco. So the inner circle here with these blue planets, that's Selena's, and we're going to use the birth time that we found online. We're going to take it with a grain of salt. And then the outer circle with the red planets is Benny's, so he doesn't have any houses because we do not know his birth time. But we can look at some aspects between planets and we can go from there. So let's begin. Selena Gomez has her Venus, Chiron, and Mercury in her first house of Leo, if that birth time is correct. We don't see any of Benny's planets over here, but we do see some square aspects. So we won't be taking this moon placement because, as you may or may not know, if you don't have a birth time for a client or a person, you will not be able to know when their moon was, where their moon was at the time of their birth. So he may have a Scorpio moon, he may have a Sagittarius moon, or he may have a Libra moon. We can say that with pretty good confidence, but because we don't have his birth time, we will not be looking at his moon placement. Now Selena's Venus is square to Benny's Pluto placement, which is a generational placement. So anyone born around the same time as Benny would have the same Pluto placement. So having your Pluto square to your partner's moon. So with Benny's Pluto square to Selena's Venus, that makes me think that there could be some power struggles in love. There could be a bit of a controlling tendency on the Pluto person, from the Pluto person to the Venus person. Let's see what else we have here. Selena's north node is conjunct the generational planets that Benny has, which is Saturn and Uranus. So Benny's ability to structure his workday, to be creative outside of the box, I think that inspires Selena to move towards her truest purpose. And that is happening in the sign of Capricorn. So really, again, those are generational planets on Benny's part. So Selena could find the same type of inspiration and discipline from someone else around the same age as Benny. Let's continue on. What else have we got here? Over here in the sign of Aquarius, this is Selena's 7th house. So Selena has Saturn in the 7th house, which means that love never truly comes easy for her. Saturn retrograde as well. So love is something that she has to fight for, that she feels restricted in, or maybe she feels restricted in the dating pool. Also, when someone has their Saturn in the 7th house, um, that can indicate some maturing has to be done before ending up with the correct partner. So sometimes after the Saturn return of the person, after Selena turned 30, just about, then she might have better luck in relationships. So she's now 32, and Could Benny be the one? His Mercury is in her 7th house. Again, taking that with a grain of salt, that this is her correct birth time. But she likes his she likes his ability to, again, that thinking outside of the box. I'm seeing as a theme for him. He's a bit of a quirky guy with Mercury in Aquarius. He probably has quite a dry sense of humor that's also a bit quirky. And that she might like that. With this conjunction here, she would be attracted to his mind and his thoughts and his ideas. Now we're going to go up to the top of the chart. Selena's moon is conjunct with her midheaven and the 10th house, up there by the 10th house, meaning, yes, it is definitely a placement for someone who's meant to be famous. Having your moon in near your midheaven. Your midheaven is the most visible part of your chart. That's your reputation, that's your career. So having your moon there, she's like almost wearing her heart on her sleeve for the public. Now, Benny has his Venus and Jupiter conjunct her moon in midheaven. So his creativity, his connections in the industry bring out the best in her career. Now, they did have a song together called I Can't Get Enough that came out, I think, maybe 2019, around that time, way before they started dating. So they have worked together. It's possible that Benny brought Selena some more connections in the music sphere. He brought her good luck and expansion, perhaps in her musical tastes, in her ability to choose projects that sounded best for her. So this is a nice conjunction that we like to see up here with that midheaven moon from Selena and then Benny's Venus and Jupiter. Also, without all the career stuff, having your moon in conjunction with someone's Jupiter, it will bring about quite a lot of similar feelings of warmth and enthusiasm and mutual care. So that's also something we like to see. What else can we talk about here? We've got a sun. So Benny's sun, he's a Pisces, is trine to Selena's Pluto. So that is some sexual tension, some sexual energy between the two. Sun in Pisces is quite sweet and soft, and Pluto in Scorpio is quite an intense version of love. So with those placements, I could imagine them having some fun in the bedroom together. Okay. We've got some more generational placements. We can go ahead and talk a little bit more about their big three. Again, we don't have Benny's big three. We might have Selena's, so we don't have a ton to go off of today, but just the very basic sun sign compatibility. Benny is a Pisces and Selena is a Cancer, so they are both very nurturing, very emotional, and they can complement each other in that way. Just their essence, their being together. I can imagine having, I can imagine them having some very sweet conversations. I can imagine them wanting to enjoy time together in the home, cooking together, imagining together. It's a very sweet connection that they do have, with their sun signs both being in water. Selena's sun is square to his Venus and his Jupiter, so that could cause some tension. Sun square Venus. So with Selena's sun square to Benny's Venus, Selena's sun is in Cancer and Benny's Venus is in Taurus. This could indicate some differences in taste. It can indicate different ways of loving each other or wanting to receive love in a relationship. I can imagine that even with that square, the sun being in Cancer, I can imagine Selena loving to cook, and then the Venus in Taurus is someone who's very sensual and who likes to eat. So even though there is that square there, I could see them coming to some common ground just based on what the signs are. Um, yeah, so that's just a really basic rundown of these two people. The last thing I want to point out is Benny's Mars in Capricorn. Mars in Capricorn is a super hard worker, is trine to Selena's Jupiter in Virgo. So Selena getting her good luck from any type of perfectionist tendencies. I could see them working well together with the Jupiter and the Mars trining to one another. So hopefully they will make some more music in the future if that's what they want to do. I can see that. There are some nice placements here. There are a few things that make me think that maybe they aren't the most compatible, and that'll be some of these squares. Um, but again, it would be really helpful if we had their actual birth times and um, their birth times and knew what their house is, kind of how they lined up. But anyway, that's what I've got for you for today. So thank you so much for watching, and continue to click on any of the other videos I have. Press subscribe or leave a comment. Thank you so much and have a lovely day.